The Haunting of Room 36. It was a cold, misty Monday morning when the students of Class 10B sat in their classroom, waiting for their new math teacher. Their previous teacher, Mr. Sharma, had resigned suddenly, leaving behind an air of mystery. No one knew why he had left so abruptly. Some said he had fallen ill, while others whispered that something had scared him away. The bell rang. The students straightened in their seats, expecting the new teacher. Then, the door creaked open. A tall, thin man entered the room. His slow, deliberate steps sent a chill down everyone's spine. He was dressed in an old, faded coat. A long white beard flowed down to his chest, and deep wrinkles lined his face, making him look ancient. His hollow eyes scanned the students, unblinking. A strange silence filled the room. Without a word, the man walked up to the blackboard. His bony fingers reached for a piece of chalk, and he began writing a complex math equation. The way he moved was unsettling. His hand glided across the board with unnatural precision, as if he had solved these problems 1,000 times before. The students exchanged nervous glances. Finally, a boy named Rohan gathered his courage and raised his hand. "Sir, what's your name?" The teacher stopped writing. Slowly, he turned to face the class. His cracked lips curled into a faint, eerie smile. "Names do not matter," he whispered, his voice dry and brittle. "Only knowledge remains." A shiver ran through the room. A girl named Priya leaned toward her friend, her voice barely above a whisper. "He looks familiar," she murmured, her hands trembling. The teacher suddenly stopped writing, his head tilted ever so slightly as if he had heard her, though she had barely spoken. "Do I?" he asked, his voice echoing strangely. The air grew cold. Priya's breath hitched as her eyes drifted to the old faculty photograph at the back of the classroom. Her heart pounded. Her hands shook as she pointed. The entire class turned to look. Their blood ran cold. There, in the faded black and white photo, stood the same man. The same white beard, the same deep wrinkles, the same hollow eyes. Below the picture, the plaque read, "Mr. A. Verma, Mathematics Teacher, 1955 to 1985. A long silence followed. "But that's impossible," Rohan whispered, his voice barely audible. "That means," Priya swallowed hard, her throat dry, "he's been dead for 40 years. A strange sound filled the air, low, whispering laughter. The students turned back to the blackboard. The teacher's smile had grown wider. "Now," he whispered, stepping closer, "let's solve for X." To be continued. The classroom was silent, frozen in fear. The air grew colder, and the white-bearded teacher stood still, his hollow eyes staring at the students. The chalk in his hand moved again, but this time the numbers twisted into strange symbols. The board seemed to change, the writing shifting on its own. A low whisper filled the air, soft, eerie, and coming from everywhere at once. The lights flickered. The windows rattled. Rohan turned to Priya, his voice shaking. "We need to leave." But before they could move, bang, the classroom door slammed shut. The teacher turned toward them, his face paler, his wrinkles deeper, his eyes empty. "Why are you afraid?" he whispered. "I have always been here, watching, waiting." The whispers grew louder, turning into cries. The students screamed. And then, darkness. The lights flickered back on. The teacher was gone. The chalk rolled slowly across the floor. The principal rushed in. "Why is everyone yelling?" "Sir, the teacher, he was just here." Rohan pointed at the blackboard, but it was empty. The principal's face turned pale. "Class, there was no teacher scheduled for this period. The new replacement hasn't arrived yet." A chilling silence filled the room. Rohan turned back to the old faculty photo and gasped. The man in the picture was still smiling. Who was he, and was he ever really gone? Subscribe now if you dare.